preparing to live stream. And it looks like we are set up here as the screen refreshes itself. This is always new in the rough cut draft. And I'm excited. This is the third installment. And I'll repeat, this is exciting because this is the third installment that we have of what we are doing here in terms of the live stream here. And so we are launching in December a great show, and we're doing some pre-launch shows just to talk about things that are so very important. We are so excited to get this out here. So anyway, we will get started here in 3, 2, 1. Hi, I want to welcome everyone here. We are about ready to embark on a journey today. This is the third installment in terms of our launch of a new program that's coming up. I am Jim T. Chong, the Walk Star, and I'm with none other than Mike Hayes. He is a network king. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Jim. Very excited about being here with you.
Great. Well, you know, there's a lot of things that we could talk about in this new normal. I know in the first two versions of the show episodes, you know, it was really exciting just to see you in the last one where we showed you outside, just talking about really celebrating the new normal, or what we are calling the new reality, right? To help them gain confidence. And today we're going to focus in on really how to have people be successful in today's economy. Just, you know, I have a video I want to show, but before I show that video, just any preliminary comments from you.
Yeah, I think there's a few. One, we are in a new reality. I think everybody recognizes that.
Yes.
You don't really have a choice about adapting to it because you're going to face setbacks or even obsolescence if you don't. The good news is there's a lot of great options available if you do. And what we have tried to do, and I've been working on this for a long, long time, using my background with NBC, New York, and CNN to curate not only the best ways to continue your business, but how to actually improve them. And with the new solutions that I'm quite confident will prevail and that will persist after the pandemic. So the things everybody is overwhelmed with so much information today, Jim. I'm sure everybody's going, oh, not another thing to learn.
Right.
What we've done is we've really curated not only the key things to learn, but only the key parts of them that are important. And then there's two ways to do it. Either do it yourself or have it done for you. But we found all the ways to save time and money and get more focused on continuing your business. That means having traffic, presentations, and closing sales, generating revenues. And that's what this show is about. And that's really, I think, what we really want to help people to understand. We're here to help you to keep your business going and expand as soon as possible.
You know, this is a very important distinction. I wanted to twirl this around just as an example here to understand what is available in the new normal economy. We can control our environment. That's all part of success. Controlling your environment, not letting it control you. Don't you think that's really key, Mike?
Is it ever, Jim? Honestly, truer words for happiness were never spoken. So what we call it is, I love this, but we call it how to adapt your micro business, which means 1 to 4 employees. So we are for the small business person, to the new economy and the new reality where everybody feels over their head because the sky is the limit.
Yep. You know, when
there's so many opportunities, but people, oh, I'm so afraid, you know, there's so much fear, and we understand that, but we're here to bring solutions that will overcome your fear and take you to what we believe will be your success.
Yeah. Well, you know, exactly what you talked about. You can be confident if you're kind of familiar, because familiarity actually, one of the strengths of it is it makes you more confident if you know kind of where you're going. And that is all a key to success. We will be touching on that today. But even with this microphone, I shared this with you. A mic is not just a mic. If I turn it like this, it changes. Do you see how it changes the quality? It's just that little difference. If you don't understand the types of microphones, its different features, it can really make you sound like this or make you sound like this. Do you hear the difference?
Yeah.
And so the whole thing is, I know, Mike, why you like this, because this is like Mike Hayes. We have a microphone, right? We talk about the micro business, right? But you can control the sound, but you can control the visual. Watch this. Now, first off, I want to highlight the crossgroupnetworking.com behind you. Open house. You have so much information back there, and I teach on this as well. We teach on this as well. The whole thing is that people need to understand there is a reason for the backdrop, not just to make you look pretty. Yours is informational. It makes you look professional. Check this out. I like the scenery. I was so inspired by your last video last week, being outside. I said, I want to be outside, right? But you notice this sets a different tone than this does.
Yeah.
You feel the ambiance, the atmosphere changes, right? But perhaps you're dealing with somebody that is more of an office type person. Then boom. And then I have things that I want people to know. I don't even have to say anything. They could read it if they're interested. And this is really the soft side of putting out information for people and really using it without having to invade the presentation or anything. And this is really key to optimize your time here. And so there is a video I want to show you. Before I show this video, any thoughts on what I just shared here in terms of optimizing your visual and your sound while you're online?
Well, I think the main thing is we want to be welcoming and embrace every small business owner. So I don't want anybody to think that it is only about technology. Technology has sped things up. There are tools, they help us. But, I love going back to what I call paleo networking. And that's really the nuts and bolts of when people are struggling. As they are right now, you know what you need? You need other people. And so we are doing peer-to-peer networking, and we learn from other people every single day. I always say I've had more networking mentors than probably anybody on the planet. So when you drop your defenses and open yourself up to learn from other peers, you're going to find there's a lot of helping hands out there that can really help you comfortably achieve what you really want to achieve in your own way. There's a lot of solutions.
Great. Well, I'm really impressed with what we're doing together, but you being the founder of Cross Group Networking, they can go to crossgroupnetworking.com. But, just going right direct to the to what we call Eventbrite. Hopefully you guys are familiar with it. I'm going to go to onlinevirtualbusinessnetworking.com. Just to let you know, I'm going to hit return. And can you see that okay, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, so over here, I'm just going to show you, this is where you can go online, virtualbusinessnetworking.com to be able to get on here. But you can select a date, but I wanted to come here to share with you a video that's so very important. And, I think it's going to be a foundation of today's talk here. So let's go ahead and watch this together, and we'll have a discussion on this and why it's so relevant. All right. And by the way, congratulations. I know we have 130 attendees that are for this next event already registered. So bravo. We'll give you the link again for those of you that might want to register. But anyway, here we go, and listen to this.
Hello, Cross Group Networking event ambassadors, attendees, and anyone who wants to grow their own networking audience. Hi, I'm Mike Hayes, standing outside of my own property in Lafayette, California. And each month we host big, free, online virtual networking events that are co-hosted by our trained ambassadors who recognize the importance of building a cross-promotion network. We celebrate our ambassadors for embracing the new realities of business, where everyone is over their head because the sky is the limit. The reason my nickname has become the Network King is probably because I've had more networking mentors than anybody else. Today is November 17th, and the networking news is this. We already have over 100 attendees registered for our upcoming event this Thursday, November 19th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's 1 p.m. Eastern. Cross-group networking must be experienced to be fully appreciated. So join us and meet the amazing people who are co-promotion network ambassadors and discover why. We have a 60% RSVP to attendee ratio, which may be an industry high. Plus, see why we average a 97% attendee exit poll satisfaction rating. I hope to meet with you soon. Until then, I'm wishing you a wonderful networking day.
Great. Now that was a good video. You know, that voice, it sounds kind of familiar, Mike. Was that you?
It wasn't back.
Not too bad. But you know, you said a lot of things there. You know, first off, the sky's the limit. I mean, wow, bravo again. You know, for just putting together this, because you know, having three-figure numbers for registration is huge. You know, and especially during these times. One thing I know about you, you're not trying to build fast, but you're trying to build strong to be able to go longer. You know, and so
Well, my
it's so
motto has
important.
become, why rush to failure when you can take your time to success?
Mm, yeah.
So, like, enjoy the trip, enjoy the journey. The joy is in the doing.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. We looked at this video here highlighting some really good concepts of what we can really do to help people become successful. I notice again, there's a big thing about promotion networking. How's
Yeah.
that different than just networking, right?
Oh yeah. You know, what you really want is the numbers that are important about our referrals. That your sales closes go right through the roof, you know, when you're getting a referral. And a lot of people are fearful because we didn't used to have the tools. But today, you know, one of the things that Harvard Business School talks about is the importance of networks and networking. So to have a great network, it's important to be connected to networks where you can network, a network of networks, if you will. So what I love about Eventbrite, think of it like an airport hub. It doesn't have to be a destination. It really is a place that you can send people off to a destination of your choice. So wherever it is that you are most
Mm,
comfortable in doing business, it could be in your office, it could be on a website, it could be in your LinkedIn profile, it could be on Facebook. That's what we do. We bring people into RSVP and then we send out information to them, because you really want multiple touch points. People can get a lot of networking traffic, Jim, but what we want to do is we really want to help them to be able to get their ideal prospects out of traffic, get their attention focused on your offer presentation, and then you've got to close business if you want to stay in business. So you've got to close sales. And so we don't just offer 1/3 of the solution, but the entire solution.
yeah.
That's why my agency is really cross group networking, sales, and marketing. We put on big free networking events to help people understand, sure, we can get traffic, but we want to help grow your business and get more sales into your organization.
You know, this is really key. I love how you're just very succinct, because sales and marketing drives everything. We know that some people don't want to be known as a salesperson because there's a stigma about it. The reality is salespeople are the thing that makes your business go and grow. And, you know, I'm dealing with Factor X. We talked about this media group, and you're very strong in media. I feel like I've learned a lot of concepts from you as well. But as we bring together some of the things of what we're doing here through your sales and marketing, our media together, I think that's why we decided this is really a great match here. And you know, the whole thing is that as we build in this economy, it is important to remember, never forget where we came from. And what I mean by that is, you know, you got to help the people that are there to help you, whether or not they're able to at this point, but always remember the person that has helped you from the past. This is really key. Don't burn bridges moving forward. And a lot of what I know you're trying to do in your platform is really through the name cross group networking, is being able to bring a lot of communities together, which is what you think about. I go by the walk star, WOKSTAR, party like a walk star. It's all about bringing the best ingredients together to make something yet better, bringing ingredients together to make something better, like in a cooking walk. And that's why I think we gel so much. But, you know, over here, you've had a lot of experience. You mentioned some of the networks here, and I don't want to just glance over them. There is a difference between people that have gone through the fire, people that have had that depth of experience, and what sort of breadth and depth of knowledge and experience they can bring to the table in the new normal economy, provided that they understand in a new reality, they have to adjust. You've been doing great in terms of adjusting, but also training people how to adjust, right? And so I just want to see, what are some pointers you can give to people in terms of
Sure.
success?
You mentioned sales earlier, and I think it's important to talk about that, especially for the audience that we want to help, which is the micro businesses, 1 to 5 employees, mom and pops. I really believe in helping people understand how to sell without selling out, without selling your soul, and with a high likelihood of success. Because I believe in find a need and fill it. So if you are finding the need of your customer carefully, and you can fill it, you're helping them. Yeah, you're being rewarded with a sale, but you're not just selling them, you're helping them to get a result that they truly need. And I feel if I have a solution that I believe will strongly help someone, I feel morally obligated to step up to the plate and help them and explain it to them. I'm, you know, what the way I look at marketing, it's like this. It's like tapping somebody on the shoulder. Hey, I understand that you need this. Did you know that you could get that in this place or that place or wherever it is? Maybe it's a referral. But what I've always told people that have spoken to me, I promise you, if I can't help you, I will refer you to somebody who I believe can. So to me, that's the art of selling, like I say, without selling out. So you can feel good about yourself and still get the sale and still support your family and grow your business.
I like that. The art of selling without selling out. What do you mean by that? Can you share what you
Yeah,
mean by
some
that?
people feel like they're going to have to lie, cheat, and steal to get a sale, and that's just they think that that's what selling is, and it's not. And that's what some people do to sell, but that's just lying, cheating, and stealing. That's not selling. Selling is helping somebody to get the thing that they really need, because a lot of people are fearful. Oh, I don't want to sell. Oh, I'm not a salesperson. But you know what? If the work that you're doing is really important, or even if it's for a nonprofit, you have to uh, you have to explain why the solution or what you're asking for is important. That's what I mean by selling. It's really explaining. In fact, Alvin Toffler, one of my favorite futurists in the world, who's now passed, but he wrote probably in Future Wealth, he wrote one of the biggest needs in the future are going to be people that can explain things. He called them explainers and prosumers. People are part pro and part consumer, put things together like IKEA. You know, that's that whole concept of prosumer. So you buy it, but then you got to put it together so you're both a pro and a consumer. But you know, that's why it's really important to understand that the need to explain things in this complicated world is the modern way of selling.
Yeah. Well, one thing is really important in terms of what you're saying. To be able to achieve success, you have to feel good in that skin
Yeah.
of selling, because that's going to really determine how you posture yourself as well. If I don't feel comfortable, I'm not going to feel confident, and that's going to come across, and they're not knowing where you're coming from. Is this guy being dishonest with me? Is he really know what he's doing? So there's a lot of things there. So what you said is really important, being comfortable with those words. And I know for myself, I talk a lot, I meet a lot of people, but I don't necessarily want to be known as a salesperson. But I need to get comfortable with the idea that ultimately, if you own your business, you are a salesperson. If you're going on a date, as we say, you are a salesperson. You're trying to win over somebody, right? And I kind of redefine sales. Some people already have this definition. That is transferring influence from one person to another. If I can make you excited about what I'm excited about, and there is an art to it. And I know we have a series of programs we're coming up with that are going to teach about how to effectively sell. Um, you know, if you're able to transfer that influence, you have effectively sold someone, right? So
Well,
this is
there's another point that I'd like to make too, Jim, quickly, is
yes.
that what I learned in the direct response industry, to take there's a way to take the stress out of selling, and that is to figure, you have to know where you're going first. And
Yeah.
that's very, very important. So what I learned from so many mentors is, where are we going? What is the destination? We have to start there. What's the goal? And then you can reverse engineer it from there, back from the ultimate goal. You back up to, okay, then what do we need to offer and explain to somebody to get them there? And maybe that's, you don't sell them on going, oh, it's so great to go on a plane and blah, blah, blah. No, you sell them on how great it is to go to New York and Broadway and go to plays. And, then now how we're going to get there? Well, we're going to take a plane and we're going to fly and land at LaGuardia or Kennedy, and we're going to, grab an Uber into the city. So you kind of reverse engineer things. And then you have the excitement of arriving at the destination to help you get them there. So it's fun. It's just, make it a journey, have fun with it, and just understand it. When you can break it down, then you can sell. Really, I call it selling by statistics. You can sell much more scientifically, because then you can even be having a bad day and still make a great sale, because you understand how to do it scientifically and by the statistics. And I can explain what that means if you want another time, but it takes the stress out of it. So it's not just putting on a show and always having to be on. I sold $1 million a year of my own mentoring for 15 straight years. And many times I didn't feel good, or wasn't up for it, but I understood how, to get someone else to see why I knew I could help them.
Yeah. Well, you brought up a lot of great points there. And also, when people listen back to this, there's a lot of good advice that you gave. You did mention sales by statistics. Can you define and explain what that means?
Sure. What that means is you have to understand the entire process. And then once you understand that, then you can see where the breakdowns are. So in other words, well, okay, I got 130 people to attend my networking event. That's a statistic, okay? So that happened, okay? But then I only got one person to come out of the traffic and into my presentation. That's another statistic. That's
Mm,
where it broke down. So then it's like, okay, we don't have to work on the traffic. We have to work on getting them out of the traffic and into the presentation. Or you go from the presentation then to, the transaction or the close, whatever you want to call it, or the conversion, different words. So there's a lot of different ways. There's non-selling systems, unselling systems. There's a lot of different ways to do it. But as Tom Hopkins told me, um, you never want to leave your comfort level.
mm,
If you can stay in your comfort level, you have to find a way to explain what your offer is and stay in your comfort level. That's very, very important. And I help people do that because I interview them. I find their need first. So I like to do a pre-interview, find out their need. And then after I know that, then I can interview them formally with questions they know I'm going to ask them to help them to get to where they are comfortable explaining what their offer is to get them to that transaction.
This is really key. And sometimes we get into the habit of things. How many of us have met people? The first thing they want to tell you is what they do. They don't even know if it's relevant to you. It's just really excited. They're excited about it. I get that. But that is a difference between trying to sell people on something that they are not ready to be sold on. That's what creates the negative stigma and dynamic. But if you wait and find out what the need is, and then you talk to that need, then that's a little different. And that little art takes a lot of discipline sometimes. And, I know I teach people about that. I know I can feel myself sometimes want to just share, but this is so exciting. But I have to find out, even though it's exciting to me, if that person really cares. Otherwise, that is not a person that's going to come back and want to talk to me later. But if I really am able to talk with them and find out what issues they're facing and present something exciting, something that's relevant to them, that is a difference between a connection and a disconnection. And that makes all the difference between you being able to close a sale or even being able to capture a possibility, right? And so what you shared here is just really important, in terms of what you're teaching people about what is the end destination, okay? The end destination is not for you to find out the end destination is not for them to know what you do. The end destination is for ultimately you to be able to find their problem and fill it, like what you said. Comments?
Yeah, people don't realize, honestly, that the person who is listening in a conversation is the person who is in control, not the person talking.
Very
The person
powerful.
talking is talking, but the person listening is really in control of the situation. So you're learning more, you're taking in a lot of information. So really put yourself in a position to understand. If you want to be in the power position, learn to be a good listener.
I was just listening there. So, I had to do that.
Power monger, you're taking over.
Right. But these are things that are easy. We can laugh at them, but they're very serious in terms of this whole thing. How much are you listening? We heard that age-old saying, God gave you one mouth and two ears, right? So I say that's why you can get two people to speak in each ear of them, right? So if you work together,
they are cliches, but they sometimes become cliches because they're true.
Absolutely.
So it is important to use those guide signs from our peers.
Right. And one thing I want to just have you all think about as you're listening to here. What is the method that you are meeting people, and what is your end game, so to speak? Right? Is it really just to meet people? That's okay. You might be just creating a community where you want to meet people. But then if you have a business, eventually it is the fact that you're looking for people that you can close business with so you can be profitable. That's how you sustain what you do and sustain life, right? I mean, the lifeblood of business is money, the profit, right? And so,
as I always tell people, I don't care if you have a Maserati. If you don't have gas in it, guess what? It ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, sure looks good though. But anyway,
you can look good sitting in the parking lot. But you also set the key word of sustainable.
Right.
So many companies, they get started, but if they're not making sales, they're just not around.
Yeah.
They can't sustain. So interest drops off.
Yeah. Well, the key to the sales today and really being able to make those great connections, especially right now, at the time you're listening to this specifically, they just made everything purple locally here. I don't know, is it purple where you're at in terms of the gradient, in terms of shutting down, locking down everything?
Yeah.
The restaurants.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to do? Some people are literally frozen. They go, oh my goodness. I talked to somebody on the other end. It's like, great. I have a lot of people that are going to be on virtual meetings. It's all perspective. One way can create a little bit of fear if it's scarce, if it's in the scarcity mindset. One way creates more confidence. Can you imagine if you had the best, let's say toothpaste, just for this, right, illustration purposes, the best toothpaste that everyone needed, and basically everyone, you have a captive audience. That is what's happening right now, is that people are looking for things to look at. People are looking for new ways of doing things. And, I'll tell you, they might have a toothbrush, but that toothbrush doesn't work very well without toothpaste. So you find somebody that has part of the equation and you deliver the second part if they don't just need the whole solution itself. And that's okay to really think about in terms of just this new normal economy. There's a lot of ways you can play this game. I'm getting excited just by hearing the solutions people are coming up with, and just even people overcoming their own barriers. Mike.
Yeah, thank you. Let me invite people to send in their emails to us. I host a daily meeting right here every morning at 9 a.m. I call it Ask Mike Anything because I've been doing networking for 30 years. I've made my share of mistakes and I've had my share of successes, but I've learned a lot from a lot of people. So I do hold a daily open house. And what I would say is we really do want to know what you need. If you are listening to this, this is a new reality. That means it's the old reality is like the white dry erase board. It's been wiped clean. Yeah, there's still office buildings, but a lot of companies like Twitter said they're going to keep their employees at home. Let them continue to work in them. Things are changing all over. There's a lot of new solutions, a lot of new opportunities. And what we want to know is, because we've got the background, we've got the experience, we've got the capability. We don't need venture capital to become successful anymore. We have everything we need and we know how to use it. What we need to know is, what do you need right now in this new reality? Do you need to make more sales? Do you need to meet more people? What is it that you want and need? Tell us. And I, as somebody who spent their life networking, if I don't have the answers, I know where to get them. And so please, just whatever it is, I think you'll be quite surprised what we can come up with for you for simple solutions. There's so many new platforms, new opportunities. Just tell us what you think you need, and then we'll tell you what we know, and maybe share some other ideas you might have not even thought about. You might not have even known you need. So please be interactive. We want to hear from you.
Yes, we have some great things that are going to be emerging just through our collaborative effort here, myself with Mike. And, I just really am excited about just this new normal economy. And yes, there are a lot of unknowns. And I hope you look at things not so much from a perspective of fear, but from the perspective of excitement, because they say that takes the same amount of energy. And that is really important to think about for your own mindset. We want you to be safe. We want you to do well and really be able to not just survive, but even thrive in this new normal. Any final thoughts from you, Mike?
Yeah, I have some mind-boggling success stories that I've recorded. I've interviewed people about how they really tapped into the hidden wealth right underneath their feet. I look at networking like oil reserves that you don't realize are right on your property. And they are there to become gushers once you really learn how to tap into them and have the tools. You can't tap into an oil well without an oil rig, okay? So you do need some tools to be able to do it. But the success stories that I have from me, my mentors, and people I've worked with, people I've learned from, they're mind-boggling. And they're now that networking has transitioned from person-to-person networking, shaking hands, to virtual networking, it's become media. It's now, Jim and I are not together. We can't touch each other. Jim's in Sacramento. I'm in the Bay Area. So once it goes video, what's video? It's video marketing, it's video communication, it's advertising, it's marketing, it's publicity. You can send it out through Eventbrite. Think of it like every little video you do is like an airplane that you can send out all over to different platforms, to LinkedIn and to Facebook or Twitter or email. And you can communicate and you can make money even when you're sleeping. This is a very exciting time if you understand how to take advantage of it. It's really just up to you.
Yes. Well, we gave you a couple of good sites there. You see it right there, crossgroupnetworking.com, but also find out more about how to really join some great groups here. We have ongoing groups here as well. And so go to onlinevirtualbusinessnetworking.com, virtualbusinessnetworking.com, and you'll be directed to the next opportunity and date to join us. And why not network intentionally? And I'll tell you, there's so many meetings to go to. I think you need to determine which ones really serve you well, because your time, just like TV, you can be drug in and really not accomplish a whole lot. Be intentional. And I know with this network, we're really helping you be able to expand your base, but also be able to close business. And so I'm very excited as we venture down the road here in the new reality here. This is Jim T. Chong, the Walkstar, along with
Mike Hayes, AKA the Network King.
Have a good one.